with a fair few sort of decent races. The Prix Gannet is upcoming at 3:15, where Mogul is 10 to 11, Mani Cours at 9 to 4, 15 to 2 for Mare Australis. It's 12 to 1 and bigger the rest. We will try and bring you the Prix Gannet at 3:15. Obviously, that'll be a little after Newmarket, just before Sligo. Have we 3:10? Hamilton have got 3:15. We will try.
Yeah, good luck with that project.
Yeah, but we will be. I mean, I say we'll try. We'll do nothing really. It's just where the betting TV show it, but it makes it sound like we're working harder. But it's all on betting TV, and if we can't show you.
On the outside, then Professor Calculus, followed by Sister and Brother and Colton's Passion, Holly Doyle trying to get into it, but this looks up for grabs inside the two, and stumbling and unseating there, Hamoudi. Drama there, let's hope he's all right as they now run towards the last furlong, and Aesthete is challenging Walls of Carno. Professor Calculus running on with Colton's Passion, Walls of Carno trying to fend off Aesthete as they run to the last 100 yards or so. Walls of Carno stretching out nicely, Aesthete not going away. Walls of Carno is holding on though, and Walls of Carno has just held Aesthete, with Professor Calculus in third and fourth Colton's Passion. And I understand Andrea Zani's up on his feet okay.
Goodness me, how dramatic in a race B over at Salisbury. We'll hope the state secretary is okay. He was pulled up before the halfway mark, and then getting to, I don't think it was even a path. Hamoudi just sort of tripped, and that was that. And Andrea Zani came out the side door, so he's made a pretty interesting start to his racing life, because he's unseated twice now and he's a flat horse. But I mean, Tom, over to you.
from stall 4, and Martin Dwyer had plenty of horse and travelled very well all the way.
obviously a winner the last twice, got the better of Falak last time around.
Yeah, he stands out. He's a real big, imposing son of Poet's Voice. Looks the part, looks really well. And I like the way he just gently lobbed the way to post. Yeah, he's in very good form at the moment.
Grand Bazaar was a bit of an improver last season, has taken him up to a mark of 97, but has now been gelded.
Yeah, he's a sizable type. I think he needs to run. I don't think he's still carrying quite a bit, but I could be wrong because he might be just the way he's made, but I think he needs to run.
Sky Defender is 8-1. Obviously, a horse is going to go from the front. He's the pace angle in this race.
Definitely. He's been busy, so he looks in grand order.
And Hyana, a 10-1 chance for Eve Johnson-Horton.
That doesn't look too bad. I'm not the biggest compared to some of these big lads, but yeah, she looks okay.
Of the five, who would be the pick?
I've got to go with Zabil Power. I just think he's got a lot in his favour. I think he'll love the track as he's proven before on the rolling dry course. So yeah, I think he'll go well here. So Zabil Champion. Sorry for me.
Zabil Champion at 2-1. Tom, your thoughts at Newmarket?
Yeah, I'm with Ken here. I think Zabil Champion for me as well. A little bit worried about Global Storm on this ground as much as anything. And Zabil Champion's been in great form, winning a couple.
So currently a 9-4 chance Zabil Champion. And Paddy?
I was probably going to go without the Fav here. What price is Hyana without the Fav, Luke?
I'll find out. 10-1 at the moment in the outright market. Talk about Hyana, and I'll tell you the price in a second.
13-2 without the Fav. Just looking here with ourselves. The thing is, I just think that the Eve Johnson-Horton, she sort of was having a real moderate run as regards just trying to get some horses over the line. They were running very well, but she's finally got a few home and having a bit better luck, and just got a real good record fresh. This mare, Georgie Adobe, gets on very well with her. She's going to run here off 94 with George's 5 off and has run well at this track. So I just thought that was a reasonable price to maybe chase home the favourite here.
Yeah, 13-2 for Hyana without Global Storm and without Zabil Champion as well is 130. Last one is just going forward. That is Zabil Champion. Ken, very best of luck with him.
Thank you.
All set at HQ. Let's go take the call.
Racing for this bet or back and lay on Betfair Exchange handicap. Sky Defender's often a front runner, but up in trip today, and it's Grand Bazaar that goes on in the early stages in the hands of Frankie Dettori from Sky Defender. Zabil Champion in the striped sleeves on the outside, the all blue of Global Storm, and Hyana in the noseband as they race towards their one and only turn. Into this turn they climb a little and then they'll run downhill, and it's Grand Bazaar from in second Zabil Champion. Sky Defender is back in third on the running rail from Hyana, and Global Storm is being held up by William Buick at the back of the pack. So they now approach the Rowley Mile inside the final 9 furlongs, and Grand Bazaar, Frankie Dettori, who'll be aboard Mother Earth in the Kipco 1000 guineas a little bit later on in the card, leading the way here to Zabil Champion and Ben Curtis. Then Sky Defender, Zabil Champion stable companion, Joe Fanning on the inside, Hyana and George Adobe, and at the back Global Storm and William Buick, who rides Statement in the Phillies Classic later on. On now towards the final 6 furlongs, just over the 6, and still Grand Bazaar, a course and distance winner. First run since being gelded here, leads by a length to Zabil Champion, who's bidding for a hat-trick after 2 wins at Ripon. Sky Defender on the inside, up in distance, then Hyana and Global Storm. Not too many changes in the order. They flash past the 5 pole on towards the final half mile. Grand Bazaar, Frankie Dettori dictating the pace. No better jockey from the front, leads the way to Zabil Champion. In second, Sky Defender, Hyana and Global Storm. So racing on now towards the 3 furlong marker. Grand Bazaar has made it all so far, continues to stride out well, has got Zabil Champion off the bridle now, who's being bustled along by Ben Curtis. Sky Just Grand Bazaar, but the challengers are queuing up. Zabil Champion. Here's Global Storm with a threatening run down the outside as they run down into the dip. Grand Bazaar on the far side, still chased by Zabil Champion and Global Storm on the near side. Grand Bazaar holding on very gamely, still about a half length in front from Zabil Champion, racing up towards the line. Grand Bazaar all out, needs the line, joined by Zabil Champion in the centre and on the near side by Global Storm. Maybe Zabil Champion.
Well, that's one way to finish a 5-runner race. Maybe, as Simon Holt says, Zabil Champion in the middle has lunged just at the right time. Just getting the slow-mo through now. Grand Bazaar's far side, Global Storm on the near side. I think Global Storm's the one who I first thought didn't win. Zabil Champion looks to have just about got that head down at the right time, Tom. But it was far from easy work with Grand Bazaar making the running.
Oh, I didn't think it was ever in doubt.
Alex, the far side in fourth. Shot.
Opera Gift it is that goes on to score. Returns at 11-4 over at Salisbury. Sees things out. There were plenty of chances sort of coming into the final furlong or so, but Opera Gift, Paddy, it is that is out on top.
Yeah, he's a
Mystery Angel. Alba Rose now striding forward with purpose in third on the near side of Sea Carrots. They're trapped by Lady Hayes. Ashari switched off a bit better now. And then Taslima being held onto, and the Flying Ginger. Well grouped together as they head on now towards the final 5 furlongs, and stride for stride goes Forever Grateful on the near side of Mystery Angel. A length and a half away to Alba Rose in third. Sea Carrots has gone nicely all the way in that yellow jacket on the far side, worn by Tom Marquand. They're followed then by Lady Hayes, Ashari, and then Taslima and the Flying Ginger. On their way now towards the final 3.5 furlongs in the Pretty Polly. And Mystery Angel just about taking it up on the far side of Forever Grateful. Here comes Alba Rose, though, moving up strongly. So too Ashari. Sea Carrots on the far side with trying to run on Taslima under pressure. They pan out. Mystery Angel just the leader to Alba Rose. Here's Ashari quickening up smartly on the right, and Sea Carrots is staying on strongly as they race on down into the dip. Mystery Angel the one to catch. Sea Carrots, though, trying to bridge the gap. Looks a little bit ungainly going down into the dip there. Sea Carrots. It's Mystery Angel from Sea Carrots racing up towards the line. Mystery Angel by a length to Sea Carrots, still running on in second, but Mystery Angel is going to see them off in the Pretty Polly. From Sea Carrots in second, in third Taslima, and Lady Hayes in fourth.
Well, frustrating no more. Mystery Angel goes on to score, takes out the Pretty Polly, and does so in pretty fine fashion from Sea Carrots back in second place, who was slowly but surely getting into the contest, has wandered around a touch back in second place. But Mystery Angel, Paddy, it is that's come out on top in the Pretty Polly.
Yeah, very fine effort, wasn't it? I was waiting for when they climbed out of the dip. I thought, yeah, Sea Carrots will go and pick her up, this Mystery Angel on the front end, but she's actually, you could say, going away again at the line, Mystery Angel. I mean, George Bowie took her to France to try and get a bit of listed form to her name, which he did.
half to Lavender's Blue and Queen Power. Then Norma, Posted, Lady Bowthorpe, they're all on the far side, and Indie Angel is having a solo down the near side under Frankie Dettori, keeping a little away from the opposition. On their way now towards the final 5 furlongs, just about to run past the 5, and it's Freya that still leads the way from Lavender's Blue. Queen Power in third on the far side. They're followed by Norma, Posted, Lady Bowthorpe, and Indie Angel on this near side. At the camera angle, appears to be a little way off them at this stage, but the angle could be a bit deceptive as they race on now towards the final 3 furlongs, and still Freya, but Queen Power making ground, so too Norma on the extreme left. In behind them, Lavender's Blue, Lady Bowthorpe, then Posted, and Indie Angel does have a bit of ground. It's an open-looking race. Queen Power has come through maybe to just take it up from Freya. Lavender's Blue running on strongly near side, then Indie Angel now about to join in, and Lady Bowthorpe as they run down into the dip, and it's Lavender's Blue that just leads with Queen Power. Lady Bowthorpe on the far side, and then Indie Angel as they race up the hill now. Lady Bowthorpe on the far side of Queen Power and Lavender's Blue as they race up towards the line. Lady Bowthorpe, Queen Power, Lady Bowthorpe. Lady Bowthorpe has won the Dahlia from Queen Power, Lavender's Blue, second and third, and then Indie Angel back in fourth.
Well, it's turned into a bit of a sprint in the Dahlia, but Lady Bowthorpe has still come from more towards the rear of the field to gub Lavender's Blue, and then Queen Power later on hitting the piece. But quite enough.
A bit of respect for that one. I think the rest have got a little bit to find. There's been a bit of money, has it, for Jenna Flex even. A handicap winner at Windsor over mile, but struggled a bit afterwards. He might return after the break, and first time out might help him do better, but I thought he had a bit to prove. I'm happy with the favourite here, no recollection.
And no recollection then for Tom Morley is the last one. Jenny Flex is about to go forward. I think we're going to catch the end of a Greyville commentary. That should last a couple of seconds, and then off to Salisbury for the 3:10. Let's head across and take in the call as the line is complete.
Walton Hall picked it up to win it. Midnight Badger second. Prince of Taranto took off for third.
Walton Hall, the winner, perfect timing. They jumped at Salisbury.
The start, if not a couple more. It's the AJN Steelstock, the winning team, handicap over a mile and a quarter. So Farhan playing catch-up with the leader, No Recollection, early to Big Boy Bobby, the yellow and dark blue quartered silks, and being followed then by Forever Forward. To the outside, the pale apricot colours, Genuflex, and the orange of Temple Lock, and Farhan just latching onto the back of them under Holly Door. But it's Big Boy Bobby that leads the way. Big Boy Bobby by just over a length to Genuflex and Pat Dobbs in second position. No Recollection is in third as they are coming to the end of the loop now. In fourth place, Charlie Bishop on Temple Lock, and then Hector Crouch riding Forever Forward, and Farhan is last of all. Big Boy Bobby running in his first handicap today, and over the longest trip he's tackled to date, a mile and a quarter, is a length in front of Genuflex in second as the field are approaching their halfway point. No Recollection looking to go two better than the very good third at the Craven meeting recently under Martin Harley in third place at the moment, with Temple Lock on the outside and then Forever Forward and Farhan in the pink. It is still Big Boy Bobby and Jason Watson just dictating here to Genuflex, getting a little bit closer onto the girth of the leader in second place with No Recollection in behind, and then Temple Lock, Forever Forward, and Farhan is still Big Boy Bobby leads the way as they have come inside their last 3 furlongs now. Big Boy Bobby and Genuflex still 1 and 2. No Recollection is in behind, just waiting to make a challenge. Forever Forward looking to pick up on the outside with Temple Lock, and Farhan is diving for the far rail and still trying to run on. A furlong and a half to go here. No Recollection going past Big Boy Bobby. Farhan trying to get there the far side. The near side sticking in there is Genuflex with Forever Forward. No Recollection in front, but Farhan still going to have a say here as they run to the last half furlong. No Recollection challenged by Farhan and Holly Doyle over on the inside. No Recollection the near side. Farhan the far side to the judge. Farhan, No Recollection on from Genuflex and Forever Forward.
Well, that is tight. Farhan and No Recollection go past together over at Newmarket, just on the slow-mo. No Recollection was in the process of getting on top. Oh, was the head down at the right time? I'm not sure over at Salisbury. Maybe. I mean, it really, Tom, depends on where the line actually is.
It does. I mean, I thought No Recollection had actually still got the nose in front, but as you say, yeah, I think it has just.
Yeah.
But it is exactly where looking in the mirror. And I see 2 brown heads. I thought No Recollection had held on by a tiny nose, but I have no great desire to rush in to back it up 2 to 5 in the photo.
We do have Hamilton upcoming. We'll bring you that result when it does filter through. But Hamilton, we have got a cracking conditions contest here, where Dragon Symbol is 5 to 4 ahead of the market, significantly. 7 to 2, 4 to 1 for Mooka. It's 5 to 1 Burning Cash. Ben McDwee at 12 to 1. Tom, Dragon Symbol, your nap of the day, is rather weak in the market here.
Very weak.
I mean, out to 11 to 8 now is not exactly what you really want to see for an Archie Watson runner.
No, not really. I mean, where do we start? I mean, he's looked so good so far, but it was all on all-weather tracks. Lots of pace, and has a King Stand entry amongst other things. So, but obviously, Ascot's a bit like an all-weather track as far as surfaces go. Well, if you're fancying his chances of running in that, you'd want to be winning this. No offence to the rest, because there's some very good horses. Significantly, in particular, I've always liked, despite the fact that he's very intelligent and likes to be naughty, but he ran well at Newmarket, I thought, on the return to the track. You've talked about Mooka and think that one will improve no end from its first run due to a couple of reasons. And Burning Cash was really good last season. So it's an interesting contest. No offence, Ben McDwee, you're all right too. I know I left you out. And you did lose a shoe last time. But I just hope that... Well, I sort of don't really hope, but for in this sense and purpose, and for today, I hope that Dragon Symbol's much too good.
It's 5 to 4 at the moment. I mean, Paddy, do you think Dragon Symbol will handle turf?
It's very interesting. I mean, he's a little bit wrong at the weights as well, but just so interesting that connections have brought him back to the minimum here, first time on turf. But he's looked the real deal, all speed. Very, very interesting. Stall one, but there is only the 5 of them. But there's some very, very good performers here. I mean, Mooker's form you really can't knock it. He was entitled to just gas out a little bit the last day. You'd imagine he's going to be a good bit straighter today, but it's more of a watch and brief for me. I'm really looking forward to it because I've not actually visually seen him in action yet, Dragon Symbol, but it's just even reading his profile. Very interesting.
As we are just about set over at Hamilton, significantly going to be the last one to go forward.
They're off. They race over 5 furlongs to come out in a pretty decent line, although Burning Cash in the black and white stripes a little slow to get going. Ben McDewey in yellow and maroon leads. On the right in red is significantly off to the left in yellow, blue and turquoise is Dragon Symbol. He'd be about a length off the leaders at the moment in 3rd position. The 2 blues is Mooka, nose-bounded runner just about in 4th place, very narrowly ahead of Burning Cash in the black and white stripes. Already down to the halfway stage, the red jacket significantly on the left is Dragon Symbol. Between those is Ben McDewey. Mooker on the extreme right coming with his challenge. Burning Cash is the back marker of the quintet as they head into the closing stages. And Dragon Symbol out of McNamara moves through now to try and challenge significantly and goes on by 2 lengths. Behind him, Ben McDewey is just into 3rd position, 100 yards from the line. Dragon Symbol, the switch from all weather to turf. He's just as good. He's romped home. Very good win. Dragon Symbol wins significantly second, then Ben McDewey, Mooka and Burning Cash.
Yeah, it's a very nice horse. Dragon Symbol goes on to score, remains unbeaten over at Hamilton this afternoon, and a first win on
Talk's all-time top 500. 158.
.340. Contest is quickly on the email. Ben has emailed in saying, is it just me, or but has everything gone wrong for Aidan O'Brien? And how does that translate to Santa Barbara? Her first run looked almost a carbon copy of Isaiah in many ways, but how much do we trust that? More to the point, I had high hopes for Battleground and Mogul, and thus I'm not confident. Thanks, guys, from Ben. I mean, it's not exactly ideal, is it, Tom, for
Dempsey used to ride over jumps. If you had a real keen one, if you asked him about it, and you'd say, "Oh, what's this like?" He'd say, "Oh, I'll tell you one thing." He says, "It's like having 2 bags of cement out a window."
2 bags of cement out a window.
Whenever he said that, you were thinking, "Oh, this sounds like it's got zero steering."
Sligo is upcoming for this 6 furlong maiden, where Aloso is the 2-1 market leader. 11-4 for Tash Gearless, then Cedric at 4-1. 9-2 then Spanish Class. Raymond Deloria at 10-1. 12-1 for Viennese Voice. Bella Costa at 25-1. 33s for a bit of a monster. 33-1 as well. Dream Wisely and 50-1. And bigger the remainder. Paddy, I'll come back to you. Aloso. Back on turf last time around, it wasn't a bad effort at all at Leopardstown, and is now looking to go 3 better, but was only beaten 3 parts of the length.
Yeah, and he's in good hands. Richard O'Brien is having he's had a really decent winter, to be honest. Chris Hayes takes the ride for the first time. Very, very solid man on top, and like I say, stall 4, nothing wrong with that at all. So this son of Cody Bear making his second start on turf. He's there with every chance. He's shown more than enough ability, and he has got a rating of 73. But I was doing a bit of Andy Holding each way maggoting the last day with number 8 Sir Cedric when he ran at Naas, and fair play, he just managed to nick a bit in a 23 runner maiden at Naas. He's out in stall 15 here, which is heartbreaking for Andrew Kinnairn. So you can really do with a winner, because plenty of horses running well and just not getting one home. But I'm going to stick with him. Maybe he can put his experience to good use here, Sir Cedric. He's certainly got an engine, this son of Dragon Pulse. Lee Roach takes the ride for the first time here. Stall 15 is a bit of a horror, but see where he goes from there.
Tom?
Yeah, on the same page here. I'm with Sir Cedric as well. I never thought he was a world beater last year, but there were definitely snippets of ability on all starts. He's been gelded, the tongue tie went on. He was 3rd at Naas, and he had to give weight to the 2 who beat him, even though they were higher rated as they were fillies. He was a bit keen, and he handles the soft ground fine. But perhaps now freshness out of him, his race fitness improved, and perhaps even the better ground can help him to get there. And although the draw is poor, hopefully a few of these aren't very good, and therefore he'll be able to get up. So obviously when Aloso grabs the rail, the rest are quite big prices. Raymond Deloria naturally went to a bigger price because he's been a bit further than most of them and at a bit of a speedier pace. To be fair, he probably went a bit quicker than some of these can go in the race. Viennese Voice is a second foal, an unraced dam, non-runner a couple of times because of ground. I wouldn't possibly have wanted it to dry out too much. But yeah, I'm happy to give Sir Cedric another chance. It's a shame Mickey the Steel hasn't turned up. I quite like that one in this race, but Sir Cedric will do.
Sir Cedric is a 4-1 chance over at Sligo, but runners are loading steadily at least for this 4 o'clock contest. Surely, Tom, this United game can't go ahead now.
Well, I mean, it's hard to know, isn't it? Because obviously, it's everyone seems to be off social media. It's been I quite enjoyed Twitter. Perhaps they can all stay off.
Why? What's the crack with the match, lads?
A bunch of United fans have broken into Old Trafford and were protesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's always it's a tricky one because what do they? I don't really get it, if I'm honest. Who do they want to own their club?
Someone else who's clearly better.
Okay.
Well, the thing I don't get, there are genuine children in that protest. Like, when I say children, I mean like 10, 11-year-olds.
Mm. It's a funny old world.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to find a lonely island in a few years. Then I won't know about any of these things.
Take Paddy with you. All set at Sligo. Let's go take the call.
Damn it.
All in line for this maiden over just short of 6, and they're off. Slow to jump was Dream Wisely in the early stages, moving through to take over Spanish Class. Ramon Deloria is close up. Tashkil up on the outside with a bit of a monster. Aloso was behind them, and they're chased by Sir Cedric to the outside as they go around the turn. Bit of a monster ran off the bend, hampering Nobel Dragon, who's lost his place as they continue down the far side. Spanish Class leads by half a length. Tashkil is second. They're chased by Aloso. Ramon Deloria is close in fourth spot on the outside, and they're chased past the 3 furlong pole by Sir Cedric. The inside of Sir Cedric is Canodian, and then a bit of a monster is behind them as they head across on the approach to the straight over 2 furlongs to race. Tashkil in the blue and white up on the outside of Spanish Class. Ramon Deloria in yellow and red around the outside. Aloso tracks them towards the inner. Also chasing them is Sir Cedric as they turn in. Less than a furlong and a half to race. Ramon Deloria takes over. Spanish Class, Tashkil, Aloso, and down the outside Sir Cedric. Ramon Deloria out in front. Chased now by Aloso staying on in second, and they've pulled clear well inside the final furlong. Ramon Deloria on the rail. Aloso challenging. Going to the line, Ramon Deloria will win it for Owen Whelan and Tracy Collins. Aloso second, a long break back to Sir Cedric in third.
Well, fair enough, Ramon Deloria. If you can back up going to the start that fast, then
quickly after the other day, having been at the Breezers. I mean, talk about getting out quick. Honestly, I didn't really like anything. By default, I'll go for my Dubawi, a 6-foal half-brother to 4 winners. The family tend to need further, but Dealer Dollar was the best of the other foals. So dollar reward, dollar bid, they all right. I thought ultimately my Dubai might need further, but it's definitely, I don't know what the word is. I just don't like any of them really.
Paddy, your quick musings.
I'll take Berkshire Phoenix here. I know it's only Bath form, but plenty went wrong for him. I thought he looked good and relaxed in the paddock.
As the last one is just about to go forward over at Newmarket again. Thank you very much for this. The 4:15. We'll talk to you before the 4:50.
Thank you, lad.
As the last one's just going forward now. Let's go and take the call.
Last in and they're away. Racing in this Betfair British EBF Maiden Stakes. My followed by Dig 2 on the far side. Secret Strength is just tracking My Dubawi. Then War of Courage and Berkshire Phoenix down the near side as they race on towards the halfway stage. My Dubawi by a length and a half. Dig 2 right there with the white blaze. On the far side is the favourite in the purple jacket. Secret Strength. Ross Ryan well in touch. War of Courage is now switched far side, and then Berkshire Phoenix now running on inside the final two. My Dubawi is pressed by Secret Strength and Dig 2 as they run into the dip. My Dubawi still just about with his nose in front. Secret Strength, Dig 2 finishing off well on the near side as they race up the hill, and it's Dig 2 in the hands of James Doyle that's doing best in the run up towards the finish, and Dig 2 makes a
2. So it's Canamar and Jennifer Palman leading the way here, getting to halfway. 2 in second position, Lucky Louie. Chatan is in third, then Haraz in a circle on the inside, in the cove, pushed along on the outer, being followed by Highly Approved. Boy in the Bars also being ridden. Rectory Road, the black with the pink spots, Becky Smith looking to creep closer. Voltaic is heading to the far rail in the hands of Jessica Llewellyn as they spread out across the course here and running inside the 2. So Canamar there to be claimed here by Lucky Louie, with Rectory Road now delivering a run. Inner Circles running a big race, and then Voltaic from the back, and then Highly Approved. But Rectory Road challenging here with Lucky Louie. These are the first 2, Lucky Louie and Megan Jordan in front of Rectory Road and Becky Smith. Then Voltaic in third, Lucky Louie in front, close to the finish. Lucky Louie prevails and has beaten Rectory Road, with in third position then Voltaic.
Getting weight all round. He's been very, very consistent for the Diane Sayre yard, but probably slight preference one further up the weights in stall 3, Wild Hope, who returned with a very solid effort at Newcastle last time.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm on Wild Hope as well. I mean, he is a 3-time turf winner, and he hasn't scored on the all-weather, and he'll be happy with the fast ground. The no wins on the all-weather while he runs in the autumn. There's been plenty of hard luck stories, if only stories, next time stories, but I think Wild Hope this time back on the turf, conditions should suit, maybe can get I think I'd say a deserved victory.
As the last one about to go forward, that will be Arch Moon following in Delft Crescent. Let's head across to Hamilton and take in the call for the 425.
Final chance to place your bets here as the last one goes in. Arch Moon completes the lineup. We're ready at Hamilton.
They're off, racing over a mile. Wild Hope in the beige dwells just a beat or two in as the back marker. Not fast away either, really was Jump the Gun, although begins to pass rivals. The light blue of Hauser Black leads in the early strides to the grey Delft Crescent, although the blue and green jacket of Granite City Dock had to be chased along by Paddy Mathers, but has gone through it just about into second place. Then we got about a length and a half, maybe 2-length gap, I suppose, to Jump the Gun, red sleeves, to Arch Moon, nose-banded runner, dark blue and white hoop jacket. Then comes the light blue of Jack Hammer, and the beige colours of slow starter Wild Hope is at the rear of the field as they've got just over 5 furlongs to travel, and they begin the run downhill the home straight. And Hauser Black, Callum Rodriguez, light blue jacket, good 2 lengths ahead now. The grey horse is Delft Crescent, Conor Murta running in second, alongside him outsider Granite City Dock in blue and green colours with Paddy Mathers. The red sleeves for Andrew Mullen is Jump the Gun against the rail. Arch Moon for Paul Mulrenham, nose-banded runner is next. On the right in beige, Kevin Stott and Wild Hope's just about level now with Jack Hammer and Jimmy Sullivan in light blue and purple, but they're now between the 3 and 2 furlong poles, and it continues to be Hauser Black bowls along in front here.
leads to probably second, maybe Arch Moon with a nosebound off to the right. The Red Sleeves have jumped. The gun is there as well. Jackhammer coming from the back of the field. Still there is Delft Crescent approaching the last furlong, and it is the light blue of Hauser Black in front. Jump the Gun has moved into second. Jackhammer is in third place, is slowly catching them. 100 yards to go. Hauser Black in front continues to be 2 lengths ahead. Jackhammer's moved into second, but it's the best he gets. Hauser Black makes all. Jackhammer is home in second. Then behind those, Jump the Gun in third and Arch Moon in fourth. Batting spot on.
Hauser Black it is that goes on to score, was backed into favouritism, and Hauser Black does that fairly convincingly as well from back in second place down the outside. Jackhammer and back in third Jump the Gun, but Hauser Black, a lot to like about that, Paddy.
Yeah, real good ride from the front, wasn't it, by Callum Rodriguez again, and like I said about their leash team, they're certainly in real fine order at the minute, and he's beat a horse who's in real good form at the minute in Jackhammer, very consistent, good solid run of air during the week, and he's given weight and a beating to him. It looked like maybe there was going to be other pace in the race, but he bobbed out from stall 4 and he's busted, and very, very good pilot, Callum Rodriguez.
That absolutely is rising through the ranks all the time. But another winner here with Hauser Black for the Keith Dalglish Yarders. We've got 2 more races to come from Hamilton this afternoon. We've done over at Salisbury still. We have 2 more at Sligo and also over at Newmarket. Newmarket's next will be there 4:50, but Sligo the 4:30, not too far away, where Slade Runner is the 130 market leader. 5-1 for Passagey. It's then Manhattan Dandy at 6-1. 6-1 as well from those speed limit. Lilandra at 9-1. It's 10-1 then Alice Milligan. 10-1 as well for Dolce Sicily. 20-1 and bigger the remainder. Tom, I'll start with yourself over at Sligo.
Yeah, here I like... I've seen some money now. Passagey, a lightly raced, handicap debut last time out at Tipperary. That was her first run this season, first run since October. Down at 5 furlongs, over the far side, she travelled well. Because I thought, despite being out on the wing and was in front of furlong out, it was just almost a little out of the action, and she weakened late on. I thought she might be a little bit green as well, and potentially she hung. But overall, I thought it was an encouraging effort. I thought this trip would be absolutely fine for Passagey. I'd expect a better run. Main danger for me would be Manhattan Dandy, who was 3rd last time at Dundalk. Dropped to 6 looks ideal based on that. And given that on his other run for the yard, he'd been racing at 5 at Dundalk, he kept staying on, never getting into the race. So I think this trip should work for Manhattan Dandy. His best performance actually has been on grass as well. That was at Ferryhouse. He was 2nd. And given that he's improved since then, it's not too hard to imagine he ought to be able to make his presence felt if he can get a position from that 12 draw. So Passagey is my selection. Main danger, Manhattan Dandy.
I entirely agree with you with Passagey. I was on air when she last ran at Tipperary, and near side was just not the place to be whatsoever. She was obviously on the opposite, and for part of the race, Tom, she looked the winner.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a really eye-catching effort, and yeah, for much of the way I thought she was going to win. So hopefully today.
Was Passagey is 4-1. Paddy, your thoughts?
I'm going to go with the horse just above Passagey. He ran in the same race, didn't he? No speed limit. He wasn't that far behind in the end. Has had a few more runs than Passagey, but is in the stall next door here. But very, very ordinary stuff. We've got another 45 to 65, and this is just the first division. Slade Runner's quite consistent for the Kieran Cotter yard, but he's out in stall 11. Wide draws just don't seem to be happening today at a track like Sligo. So no speed limit for me.
Yeah, no speed limit currently, a 5-1 chance. How do you think, Tom, that they'll ride Passagey today? Obviously, from stall 2, logic would dictate that you kind of have to go forward, which is not exactly what they did last time around. She sat more midfield, but 100-30 now has been really well supported.
I'll be pleased if they go forward, just because I feel it's quite hard to make up ground.
Yeah.
You're either going to get into traffic, or you're going to end up perhaps having to come wide, and that looks tricky. So hopefully pretty far forward. There's clearly plenty of money for it. So I'd like to see a relatively prominent, at least, very worst.
Yeah, this money would kind of make you think that Passagy will be going forward from stall 2, as the last couple are about to slot forward. Over at Sligo, Passagy at 130, 9-2 for Slade Runner, 5-1 no speed limit, 11-2 about Manhattan Dandy, 17-2 for Dolce Sicily, 10-1 and bigger the remainder. 4 places on offer over at Sligo. Let's go take the call.
Extra stiff 6 is exactly what she wants, but we'll soon find out.
We will, because they're ready. Let's go to Sligo.
For the first division of the Glasshouse Hotel handicap, slow to go was Cal's Magog in the early stages. Towards the inside, Dolce Sicily leads. No speed limit is close up. Alongside is Passaggi, and they're followed by Alice Milligan up on the outside of Pallasmore Lass, and they're chased down the far side by Absolute One Right. And then Mullazim, behind them Manhattan Dandy, Polly Douglas, the black and yellow colours of Slade Runner next, followed by Lalandra as they head to the bottom turn. Near in the halfway stage, and Dolce Sicily goes along in front, leads by a length and a half. No speed limit is in second. Passaggi is next, and they're chased by Alice Milligan, Manhattan Dandy trying to make headway around the outside. Behind them, Pallasmore Lass, Polly Douglas scrubbed along. Absolute One Right is next as they pass the 2 and near the turn in. Dolce Sicily leads. Pressed by no speed limit in second. In third spot as they turn is Alice Milligan towards the outside. Passaggi behind him with Pallasmore Lass. Absolute One Right down the outside. Wide is the wall, Manhattan Dandy past the furlong pole and over on the rail is Dolce Sicily out in front, chased towards the centre of the course by Alice Milligan coming home well, and then no speed limit but well inside the final furlong. It's Dolce Sicily out in front, will win it well from Alice Milligan second, no speed limit third, and Absolute One Right 4.
Dolce Sicily goes on to score over at Sligo, another one to dominate from the front, and never really see another rival. Passagy was trying to sit in behind her early on, but has faded out of things to gamble. Dolce Sicily at 8-1, Tom, at home in front, and yet another to just about make every single yard of the running.
Yeah, Dolce Sicily drawn in 1. Went straight to the front, and that's the second victory. Hadn't won for a long time. That was back at Fairyhouse and Maiden. I mean, last time, I guess, could be excused because things went wrong from the start, really, or before the start. A little bit of a bolt out of the blue. I was perfectly happy with where we were sitting on Passagy for much of the race, but sort of not much past halfway. We just began going backwards, and I was thinking, well, we seem to be taking it comfortably, but at the same time losing position, which didn't seem the way forward. But obviously there was nothing there anyway. But yeah, the winner's done it well, always round the rail. No doubt a couple of hard luck stories probably amongst those that were drawn very wide, but don't take anything away from the winner.
No, I say Dolce Sicily has jumped out, Paddy, and never really had too much of a moment's bother in the hands of Lee Roach.
No, I think, look, when you're in this sort of grade and an uncompetitive race, stall 1 round a track like Sligo is absolutely massive. Only had 8 stone 11. Was actually £2 out of the weights, and she's got plenty of experience, that's for sure, but not won for a couple of years. And Lee Roach getting the leg up for the first time today. Got the job done very nicely with the blinkers on.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened over at Sligo. We'll bring you the SPs in a few moments' time. We've now got 15 minutes to the next live race here on William Hill Racing Radio. That will be the 450 over at Newmarket. Just on the email, studio@williamhill.co.uk. That is our point of contact. Tom, you'll appreciate this one.
Well, excellent.
It says, I feel like it's more a compliment to you, and then I don't think I don't know if it's an intended dig at me, but I'll take it.
Let's have it. Let's have it. Come on.
I'll take it.
It's a double bonus, this one.
Now, read every word of it now, Luke. Don't pick phrases.
There's Philip Clayton. Says, good afternoon. I do find Mr. Morley's misanthropic outlook very comforting. I'm always suspicious of enthusiasm. I suspect that, like the curmudgeonly people, he is probably very good company when he chooses to have company. A sideways sardonic attitude is much more preferable than rampant enthusiasm as displayed by identikit disc jockeys, chat show hosts of drivel, celeb garbage and general vacuity. Keep on trucking, Mr. Morley, from Philip in London. Now, I have no idea if I'm included in that email, Tom, but it's good for you at least.
Do you know what, Luke? The fact that you even think you could be, I think, possibly means that you feel you are.
Well, I get told off by certain emailers for being too happy all the time. So
you are very enthusiastic, and I'm not very enthusiastic in life. But that's very kind, Philip. I can be good company when I choose to be.
Yeah, I'm yet to experience that, but
yeah, well, there's a reason for that. But I always have a dry sense of humour, and I do like banter, and I can take a lot of Mickey taking, and I like to give it back as well.
Paddy, what end of the spectrum do you think you are?
You've got to be nearer me than Luke, Paddy.
Can you read that email again? I really enjoyed it.
I'll tell you what, for Christmas, I'll frame it and put it up.
Who's the other guy who we've not heard from in a while because we think he's got a hobby, but he used to get like really, really stuck in?
Alan.
Was that Alan? Was it?
Yeah.
Like he was borderline at times personal, wasn't he?
I mean, he was the reason there was a social media blackout the other day. He was part of that reason. But
there was genuine anger there, Luke.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why either, but I've wronged Alan at some point. But Philip, thank you for that email. Hopefully, I'm not involved. But
I'm smiling.
Andrew in Cape Town says you are definitely included in that
email. Do we pop him a form in the post for the club?
I don't know. Philip's a regular emailer.
Is he?
Yeah, I think if he genuinely hated me, Paddy, I think that there'd already be a rivalry there.
Yeah. I'm just watching this mob on the TV. It's shocking, isn't it?
Has it been abandoned yet, the game? Or
no, delayed, they're saying, but
surely they can't play it because the morons that have gone into the ground would surely have broken every COVID protocol possibly, so they have to go around cleaning everything again.
Yeah, no, and you know what? Like you say, plenty of kids, but everyone just walking around with a mobile phone, like just footage, all for the gram.
Yeah.
You know, just morons.
Well, I don't understand sort of how 12-year-olds can be that angry.
No, it's, you know, I mean, the thing is, it's like when you see these things happening sometimes recently, the last few weeks in Northern Ireland, and you put it on the news, and it's kids, you know, like they don't even know exactly what it is they're supposed to be angry about or protesting against. It's only they're there for the riot, basically.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't go any deeper than that for them.
Yeah. Do you have anything like that, Tom, at Stowmarket?
No. Thankfully. No, I find it all a bit confusing. I try not to be honest, you know what, I try not to take too much notice of a lot of the stuff that goes on because I realise I personally can't identify with it. It doesn't make much sense to me, and I could sit there watching everything that goes on in the world and get upset or worried about it, but what's the point? No point wasting time worrying about it. And there's a lot of very angry people in the world. Some people are rightly angry about certain things. Other people seem to just be angry at everything, and I don't know, it's almost like a full-time job, these protests in some respects. But you know, it's tricky because I don't get what they really want. Okay, so they want Glazers out, let's say, but who do they want to buy Man United instead? Because I'm fairly convinced that if someone came in with next to no money at all, I'm not saying the Glazers have got money, I've no idea really what goes on because it doesn't particularly interest me, but you know, if all these clubs stopped buying expensive players and so on, that doesn't ever seem to go down well. But have not these clubs made it like this anyway with Sky and whoever else? You know, I didn't want a European Super League. I get that, and you know, but Real Madrid and Barcelona, aren't they both broke, really? And they just need a load of money. Well, how many of these clubs aren't actually broke? If you actually told them to put the money out on the table in front, how many of them have got any money?
Yeah, I saw the other day. I saw something like Barcelona at £1 billion in debt.
Yeah, I mean, how's that allowed to happen? You know, they wouldn't get past the gambling affordability checks, would they?
No, they wouldn't get a William Hill account, I don't think. But
I don't know. It's I'm quite happy. I don't watch a huge amount of British football up the top end. To be honest, I'd rather watch a blooming game in Norway or Iceland or Romania or Moldova or somewhere.
Well, to be fair, Paddy doesn't watch much top end UK football either, but that's not my
choice. he sees the opponents are sometimes top end.
You don't get to see much of yours either, because since Tuchel took over, you just fall asleep. It's a snooze fest.
Yeah, you get points for it though, don't you?
Oh, snooze fest.
Did you not watch the first half against Real Madrid? They were fantastic.
Yeah, that was one of the better ones. I watched them against West Brom. That was pretty good.
Have Chelsea fans woken up to the fact that Havertz is good yet?
Drawing alongside, so about to run down towards the 5 furlong pole and into the home straight. And Alban Force, who's a little slower than the others away from the starting stalls, is the back marker. So downhill and on into the straight they go, with Noble Crusade and Callum Rodriguez against the running rail. A little wider with the noseband is Poets King, the mount of Kevin Stott. Also in a blue and white jacket is Ewan Walsh on Fantastic Fox, who's tracking Poets King. Then Estar, the pink jacket against the rails, Danny Tudhope, and a green cap for Jason Hart on Alban Force is at the rear of the field. So they've come down now into the dip. They're coming to the 3 furlong pole and shortly begin the uphill run to home as the nose-banded Poets King draws alongside. Noble Crusade on the left. On the right is Fantastic Fox, his big chestnut horse, who's now come through to put his head in front. Estard is back in 4th. They're clear from Alban Force as they head them down now with about 300 yards to go. And it is Fantastic Fox who's pushed out by Ewan Walsh into a 5 or 6 length advantage here to Noble Crusade in 2nd. Poets King back in 3rd position, well inside the final furlong. Only the winning distance to be decided. Fantastic Fox wins very easily. Home in 2nd place, Noble Crusade. In 3rd will be Poets King, with moving up 1 place, Alban Force laid on to take 4th.
Yeah, Favourite does that very easily at Hamilton. Takes out the 4:55. Fantastic Fox off the mark, and bigger things now wait, Tom.
Yes. Penalty kick this was. I agree. I think Miss Florentine ran a nice race last time. It encountered some traffic issues. Hopefully will be nice and prominent this time to avoid those. From the good draw, I think that run under a belt, should be primed for this and can not be an 8-race maiden after the event.
As we are paying 4 places over at Sligo. Sean Quinn, the pundit on William Hill Betting TV, he's siding with Beckham Pouncer, who is just about to go forward, now 2nd in the market. In fact, now once again joint favourite alongside Miss Florentine, as we are still waiting for one more to go forward. It might well be Chaquinto, as we are now just about set for the final time today at Sligo. Let's go take the call.
Did lump him though with a £12 rise, which is quite harsh for winning a handicap.
Yep, let's see how they go. Sligo, they're off and racing in the 5 o'clock.
Hotel handicap. Adams Barber showing good early pace, also close up towards the inner is held left loose. Tassel Flower, King's View towards the outer, chase in the early stages. By Brave Display, Ekarn is next. Ahead of Hands Down, the Peckham Pouncer scrubbed along the inside. They're followed down the far side by Jensen's Joy and Chaquinto. Towards the back in the early stages, Miss Florentine. Also towards the back is Night Law. And the overall back markers, they make the bottom turn Born Invincible. As they pass the 3 and turn to head for the straight, Adams Barber on the inside leads narrowly with Tassel Flower alongside. The yellow colours of King's View up on the outer, they're chased by All Hell Left Loose. Behind them, Eckarn, between them, Brave Display. Trying to make headway on the outside is Jaquinto. The Peckham Panthers behind them on the inside as they make the turn for home. In the lead is Adams Barber, tackled by King's View in second. Eckarn out in the centre of the course. Wider still trying to stay on is Hands Down inside the final furlong. Adams Barber lead from King's View. Eckarn coming on home well. Hands Down out in the centre of the course. Over on the rail is Adams Barber. Coming home well is Hands Down as they go to the line. It's tight. Hands Down gets up to give Wesley Joyce the first winner. Adams Barber second. King's View third, and Eckarn was fourth.
As Hands Down goes on the score over it at Sligo, takes out the final race of the day, the final race, or outsider of the entire field in the finale. Wesley Joyce taking a further £10 off and rides a first winner as well at the 6th time of asking. But Hands Down, I'll forgive you, Paddy, for not finding that one.
Aidan O'Brien said that Mother Earth will probably stick to the Irish 1,000 guineas. He said Santa Barbara, he's going for the Oaks. She'll go for the Oaks. He said she ran well, but she's probably a little bit inexperienced on the track. And he said that High Definition will go to Lingfield in a couple of weeks' time for his Derby trial.
That could be one of the better horses that he's sent to Lingfield in recent years.
Yes, I was surprised he picked Lingfield, but he did think Chester would suit it, and he thought York was too soon to the Derby. So he said he's a long striding horse, so he thinks Lingfield, he'll learn a lot going around Lingfield. So that's where he goes.
I don't mind that. Obviously, Lingfield is probably the closest you're going to get to Epsom out of any of the Derby trials with the downhill run and into the bend. But generally, he wouldn't send one of his better horses to Lingfield. But Ken, thank you very much for that. And
no problem.
We'll talk to you next week at some point.
Chester with a bit of luck.
Perfect. Ken, looking forward to that, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, Ken.
Have a good evening. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thanks to Ken for his help throughout the course of the day. As over at Newmarket, we are just about set. Inveigle, the last one to go forward.
And they're off. And very slow to go, Après Dark. The rider looking behind as though he wasn't very happy, David Egan. He's certainly unhappy with his position because he tailed off, no chance. Bonnie Rig, Lovely Breeze, and Say If You Will. A little group on the far side. Down the near side, Thunder of Niagara, followed by Dashing Dick, tall lead in the blue and white striped cap, and Inveigle, who's racing quite freely as they race on through the first quarter mile. Bonnie Rig and the noseband from Lovely Breeze and Say If You Will in that far side group. Thunder of Niagara still just spearheading the four on the near side. Tall lead, there's going to be a bit of a coming together by the look of things. Dashing Dick, the well-back Dashing Dick, now the near side in the big cheap pieces, and then Inveigle. So racing on now inside the final 3 furlongs with Après Dark still tailed off at the back. Bonnie Real Lovely Breeze, tall leads going well down the centre in the blue and white jacket headgear. Thunder of Niagara, Dashing Dick away to the right. Inveigle needs to find more. Say If You Will like what as they race on now down the hill, and it's Tall League that struck the front on the far side. Bonnie Rig, Lovely Breeze is sticking on fairly well in third place from Dashing Dick, but Tall Lead was travelling real strong 2 furlongs from the finish here and is striking away by a length and a half, 2 lengths. Dashing Dick and Bonnie Rig giving chase, but it's Tall Lead's race. Tall Lead wins in the hands of Jim Crowley. Dashing Dick and then Bonnie Rig
think it's me and Dubai, Gary.
Oof.